Hi everyone! Welcome back to my channel, and please don't forget to subscribe, leave your comment, and like my videos. This time, I'll be sharing with you the lesson on bridging the gap between innovation and action research. Research stands as a chief cornerstone to most universities and agencies. It pictures the work drives of major educational systems. There are educational research outcomes that are useful and may be readily administered to the enhancement of concept of teaching. Let us differentiate innovation from action research. Research, according to Iowa in 2009, it is a deliberate examination, advancement in research, assessment poised to create a generalizable fact or information. It implies a look for actualities, answers to inquiries, and solutions to issues. It is definitely a purposive examination. It is a sorted out request. It looks to discover clarifications to unexplained marvel, to order the dubious suggestions, and to revise the misconstrued realities. Research is a patient study, right? An investigation to establish more facts, more principles, a discovery, a rediscovery from known facts to the unknown facts. What about action research? Action research follows a three-step process. First, planning, which involves reconnaissance. In reconnaissance, you have to be enlightened with the problem. Look for literature that would help you understand. Next, taking actions. And the last there is fact-finding about the results of the action. Action research is a process by which practitioners attempt to study their problems scientifically in order to guide, correct, and evaluate their decisions and actions. Action research is a simple type of study which a teacher can undertake in order to find solution to classroom problem that she or he is persistently confronting in the course of his or her work. It is a total process in which a problem situation is diagnosed, remedial action is planned and monitored, and all effects are being gathered and understood. The action research cycle. An action research starts with the identification of the problem, then proposing a solution, trying out the solution, gathering the data, analyzing the data, and of course, preparing the report. In trying out the solution, in terms of gathering the data, you can make use of end-up interview, the FGD or the focus group discussion, students' outputs, students' performances, pre- and post-test, and observation. If it is a qualitative type, you may resort to observation, end-up interviews, FGD, students' outputs, using the thematic or content analysis. And when it comes to quantitative data, you may use the questionnaire, students' performances, and outputs, of course, or observations with the descriptive design. Then for the report, of course, you know that you have to follow the APA format in citation, in tables, and interpretation. What about innovation? Innovation is the ability to continuously transform new knowledge and ideas into new products, processes, and systems, which depicts the ability to innovate. Of course, innovation has become an essential source of competitive advantage due to technological advancement and intense global product and service competition. What about the characteristics? It may vary due to the type of organization. So if it is in the Department of Education, we are highlighting the conduct of action research or innovation along curriculum or program implementation, extent and effects on organizational competency. Innovation is definitely equals to or can be equated to creativity plus exploitation or exploration. That's according to Lawson in 1989. Then, innovation is a drive growth and helps address social challenges. According to Merriam, innovation is an introduction of something new and as a new idea, method, or device. It is often used to describe solutions to problems, which represent a change of departure from current practice, as opposed to progressive improvements within an existing framework. In choosing curriculum in innovation, improve pupils' motivation and engagement, we focus on developing their resiliency, independence, and ability to work in teams and to raise their attainment. There are different types of innovation. We can choose curriculum delivery through themes or interdisciplinary links rather than discrete ones. Flexible use of curriculum time, alternative curriculum pathways, and concentration on developing learning skills. In bridging the gap in educational research and innovation, let's look at the parts of innovation first. We have the first part, the rational, which includes the background and objective, followed by innovation, in which you have to present the production, the utilization, validation, persons involved, locale, resources, and cost. Then the third part of innovation is impact to school and community. Then the last is appendices. What about an action research? When you are crafting an action research, you start with your context and rationale. Action research questions follow. Then innovation, intervention, and strategy. Action research methods, where you have to cite your participants and other sources of data and information, data gathering methods, and of course the ethical considerations. Discussion of results and reflections and references. Remember that in the context and rationale, whether it is an action research or innovation, of course, there should be a presentation of a general description of the problem or issue as its focus of inquiry. State the importance of your research in the introduction. It must make a strong case for the study. It must provide a broader background of the problem using the existing literature. It must narrow down to a specific topic and pinpoint the research gap in the literature. And it must provide and defend the research problem and the research process, of course. For the action research questions, which is equated to objective in innovation, you state the aim, the objective, or general research questions. Clearly stated, it should be significant, ethical, feasible, of course, and it leads to development. In innovation, intervention, and strategy, where it is innovation in the report of innovation, you have to describe the innovation, intervention, or strategy in terms of development and utilization. States production, of course, in innovation, utilization, validation, persons involved, the locale, the resources, and the cost. And of course, innovation, intervention, and strategy, you have to be grounded on three things, which is the restatement, the relatedness to other studies of your innovation or intervention or strategy, the relevance to teaching learning process, of course. Then you also have to be grounded on description, where novelty comes in. And of course, the utilization, whether it's an innovation, an intervention, or a strategy. Participants and or other sources, data and information under action research, we have to state the target participants, and or other sources of data and information, examples, the learners, the teachers, documents, realia, learners' products, and others. So remember that in action research method, you have to present a general description of the method to be employed for gathering the data. And in the discussion of results and reflections, where it can be articulated in the implication to school and community if it is an innovation, you have to present the findings and its implications. When you're presenting the data, you may present the data through textual, tabular, graphical, or diagrammatical. Remember that in the presentation of findings and implications, make it simple and direct. Avoid idioms. Capture experiences based on informant or informant's perspectives, not yours. Connect to existing knowledge and answer, of course, your research questions or your objective, and follow the APA format. Presentation of quantitative results. Remember, there are things to consider. We have description or inferencing of the findings based on statistics, based on the data. Then interpretation or making meaning of the given findings. Literature, the relatedness, the conformity or disconformity of your findings to others. And if it is a qualitative result, you can start with your theme, your interpretation, the noteworthy response and or observation, and of course, literature from interpretation and literature from the cited literatures in your proposal. So the means of verification or appendices, you can resort to photo documentaries, you can make use of portfolios, transcript of interviews, and other documents. Remember that in bridging the gap between innovation and action research, if we have rational in innovation, we also have that in context and rational. Only that in the innovation, we make use of objective as an inclusive part in the rational. Then in innovation, you have innovation, intervention, and strategy in action research. Though there are differences in the inclusion, we have production, utilization, validation, persons involved, local and resources and cost in innovation. But in action research, we are limited to description and utilization, implementation of our innovation, intervention, or strategy. Because we have a specific part for our persons involved and local, and that is, those are found in action research methods where we have the participants, data gathering methods, and ethical considerations. Impact to school and community. This is also equated to discussion of results and reflections in action research. And the last one there, the appendices and references. So in the appendices, in innovation, you can also reflect your documents needed to support your claim of your findings. And of course, in referencing, you may cite or acknowledge the literatures, the authors that you have included in your report. And that's all for our Bridging the Gap between Innovation and Action Research. Stay tuned for more videos. Thank you.